polluting the river tunnel. Here's what he found.
Love News in 2022 captured Akunta Mining Limited and other illegal miners polluting the Tano River at Serwah in the western region. We uncovered irresponsible mining polluting the Tano at various points in communities like Atala, Uhiampenika, and Datano sections of the river. A year after producing the Distraction for Gold documentary, we went back to Serwah to gauge the situation on the ground. The miners have abandoned posts and left behind deep pits and gullies they created along the Tano River. Ofosua Sare Samuel is the assembly member for the Mumuni electoral area.
After your last documentary, those that they were in operation, they left the community or they left the site. They are no more here or destroying the land.
But our tour of the adjoining villages along the Tano revealed disturbing pictures of direct active mining in the Tano River with residues directed into the Tano. Shamfan operators and illegal miners currently sit on the river at various points. These Chinese miners were spotted at Boya, a farming community, driving the excavators and operating the mine themselves, contrary to mining regulations. This is purely illegal. There is no buffer between the Tano River and what they are doing. And if you see in the distance, there is a washing bay sitting at the edge of the tunnel, washing directly into the river. This is purely criminal. Close to the airstrip at Serwah, these two Chinese nationals were found operating this mine, which seems to be violating the government's buffer zone policy for mining close to major water bodies like the Tano River. They told me the site belongs to Akunta Mining Limited.
You go drop me bojo. This side Akunta people. Yeah.
Officials of Akunta Mining will not respond to the claims. The devastated Atala, Ohiampenika and Datano lands fall into the concession of Unipar Mining Company Limited. But even before Unipar could complete its licensing processes to start mining, large parts of its concession have been invaded by illegal miners. David Thompson is Corporate Affairs Manager.
Whilst we acquired it over a period of time, illegal miners started to come onto the concession. We tried to engage them in a cordial manner to try and say, hey gentlemen, this is illegal mining. We didn't really get too far in that negotiation. Therefore, we informed the Mineral Commission. So we engaged the military to remove them. They were removed, and then subsequently they've started to come back again.
David speaks of the dangers of mining in the River Tano, calling for urgent steps to control the practice.
Any activity on any of the rivers, straight away it's like, surely people, please, this is going nowhere for you. You're going to make a quick buck. How long is it going to last? But the decimation, the catastrophe that you're leaving behind is shocking. The poisons, the colours of the water, the local indigenous people who wash their clothes from that river, who are drinking and using to cook their food from that river. I mean, it's a travesty. And I really believe that should stop an awful lot of the illegal mining on the rivers immediately.
Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Atala, Ohiampenika, Serwah, Western Region.
Well, let me bring in the founder of Eco-Conscious Citizens, Awula Serwah, as she joins us via Zoom. So, listening to my colleague, Erastus Asaredonko, going back just under a year after this particular documentary we produced, I'm sure you've been watching this. Really, this is shocking, isn't it?
I mean, first of all, good evening. Thank you for inviting me. This is worse than shocking. I mean, what is going on is a crime against humanity. We don't need anybody to tell us. We have the common sense to know that we are poisoning our environment, poisoning the water bodies. When you're mining, you don't mine close to the water bodies. We know, as I speak, that in the mining areas, children are being born deformed. There's a rise in kidney illness. The placenta of the women who give birth is full of the mercury and other metals. I mean, this is criminal, a crime against humanity. And what are we doing about it? It's 1 year since the documentary. No action has been taken. Professor Ofori Boateng had a report where he's documented a lot of these things. What action is being taken? I think Ghanaians need to sit up. This is worse than people not getting their pensions. This is signing our death warrant. We need to get up and say enough is enough. We saw Akonta mining there. No action is being taken against Akonta mining for poisoning the environment. If no action is being taken against them, of course, other people are also wading in. What are Chinese nationals doing there? They are not supposed to be involved in any form of community mining in the country. And of course, this is illegal mining. So all I'll say is that if we have a government, they should take some responsibility and act yesterday, because what is happening will not be able to reverse it. We are signing our death warrants.
Okay, but the rate that we are going with this, because the media has spoken, institutions like yourself, you've been speaking, you've been crying foul about the situation, but it appears it's still the case. What really could be going wrong? Is it the case that we have to speak until we get tired and nothing happens?
Well, you see, if we do believe that we're going to all be poisoned, because if we think it's restricted to the mining areas, we need to think again. We eat fish. Where do we think the fish is coming from? We like our tubers, our yams, our plantains. Where do we think it's coming from? What land? If the land is polluted and we are growing these stuffs there, it's going to affect us. So I think what we need to do as a nation, we need to rise up. Whether we're going to go on a mass demonstration, whatever we're going to do, if we really understand, if your house is being burnt, if your house is burning, the fire service isn't coming, are you going to sit down and say, well, I called the fire service, they're not coming? You're going to take action. And this is a clear and present danger. I cannot say it enough. We need to sit up and say that if the government will not take action, we the people will take action. There is absolutely no point in building a cathedral, absolutely no point, when the environment that the good Lord has asked us to take care of, we are supervising its destruction. Let's forget about a cathedral and let's rather put our energies into preserving the environment God gave us. This is criminal. This is wicked. It is pure wickedness what is going on. We are just standing by idly whilst the environment is being destroyed. And we know who the players are. Why are we not dealing with them? Why hasn't Akonta Mining been arrested as we speak? Why have not the directors been affected? If we won't arrest them and deal with them, what can we do about other people who are engaged in the same activity?
But we are told that investigations are underway. At least when you find out from authorities, that's what at least the minister and those in charge will tell you, that investigations are underway. You cannot charge somebody if you have not found them guilty, amongst others. Really, institutions like yourself, I'm sure you've been finding out backdoor, amongst others, from these or those in authority, as in what exactly the steps and the measures they are taking. Do you get the indication that anything is happening on our blind side?
Well, if something was happening, would you have had a report sit on somebody's desk for 2 years? If anything was happening, would we have had the whole saga with Aisha Huang? And right now, nobody knows what's happening to the case. If anything serious was happening, after the documentary that was done, immediate action would have been taken and will not allow the illegal miners to come back. As I keep on saying, we don't seem to appreciate the seriousness of the matter. I really don't think we do. So unless the people themselves decide that enough is enough, we need to protect ourselves. I'm not quite sure that look at the images, they are shocking. The images you are showing are shocking. What more are you supposed to do that will make us sit up? If we don't sit up now, we're not going to sit up. All the information is there. We saw Akonta Mining, we saw their vehicles in the forest reserve. What more information, what more evidence do we need? What more evidence do we need? We have the evidence, just get on with it.
Okay, we're grateful. We'll leave it here for now. We'll continue to do our bit in terms of saying no to Galamsey and staying still on issues of